So just how many more of these things are flooding the market now?
Well, just taking a step back, if you look at the trends for consumers are inspired by what they see with brands, and brands are going more directly to consumer, but they're also releasing product, their best product, in scarce quantities, and sometimes it's very difficult to get. And so consumers are going to marketplaces to actually get product that they can't get in other channels. So StockX has been at the forefront of being a marketplace that connects buyers and sellers. And we've authenticated over 35 million products that have gone through our rigorous authentication process. And it's a service that we provide to our customers to essentially ensure that they're getting access to great product from brands authenticated.
So what kind of fake stuff are you seeing more of?
Well, if you look at the last 12 months alone, we have protected customers by rejecting over 300,000 products worth more than $100 million. Those products range from sneakers to apparel, accessories, handbags, across a broad category of goods that today consumers are defining as a next generation asset class. But when we reject an item for being inauthentic, what's interesting when you peel back the report that we put out this week, you'll realize that the most common reason for us rejecting something is a manufacturing defect. It could be a glue, stitching, it could be the way that product was manufactured, damaged box, used product, and then fake product. So essentially, we're looking at that end-to-end experience and want to be able to deliver for that customer as a legitimate brand experience that they, quite frankly, expect from us.
So obviously we know what StockX does to keep these kind of things off the market. Is there something more broadly that you think should be happening to prevent these black markets, if you will, from flourishing?
Well, if you look at where the consumer is today, as I said, going to places where they can't find product. And so they're going to other marketplaces that range from social networks to peer-to-peer marketplaces. And the challenge with these marketplaces is that there's a lack of quality. There's no certification around authenticity, and typically it's a bad user experience. And so when we started, we created the highest standard among the industry for marketplaces, and quite frankly, revolutionized a process to authenticate every single product that's sold on our platform before it gets to the consumer. And so I think the challenge, and quite frankly, I think the challenge to marketplaces is to stand up for your consumer, authenticate that product, and stand by the product that's being sold on your platform and take responsibility as a platform, which is what we do every single day.
Now, you've been in the midst of this ongoing legal battle with Nike. Nike sued you over an NFT series based on Nike shoes, and then more recently accused StockX of selling counterfeits. What's your response to this latest salvo?
So from a legal perspective, we believe the original case has no merit. The additional amendment equally has no merit. We have the right to use any brand's name and trademarks when selling products, and that's well established under current law. I think as it relates to the experience, and that's the experience in the most recent claims, is just backed up by the facts that we authenticate 100% of the products that are sold on our platform. And I think we have a really symbiotic relationship with great brands that are releasing great product, because StockX, you can see every single day, what is this great product worth and what could it be traded for? And we provide an economic opportunity for those sellers that hold on to those assets and then sell them to buyers. But we stand in the middle of that transaction to authenticate every single one. And so, to claim that we're not doing that is patently false. But most importantly for us, it's really about ensuring that user experience.
So if that's the case, what went wrong with the relationship with Nike? Because I assume you have to maintain strong relationships with a lot of brands.
Well, if you look at the platform itself, we're actually an intermediary between sellers and buyers. Those sellers are typically consumers. We do have relationships with brands that actually release product and sell product, but a vast majority of what transacts on the platform is not coming from a brand directly, but it's coming from consumers that get access to that product over time. we have partnered in so many different ways with the industry on counterfeits. In fact, even Nike itself have come to us to say, we think you're among the highest standards in the marketplace. Partner with us, with the Department of Homeland Security, on other councils participating in preventing counterfeits from getting to the market. And so I think we work in partnership with the industry and hold ourselves to those standards.
Now, you spent a lot of time at the New York Stock Exchange, and I'm curious what unique perspective that gives you on the market turmoil that we're seeing now. And you specifically oversaw listings. Do you think this IPO window is shut? And what does that mean for StockX, which we were expecting to go public potentially soon?
Well, everybody is watching the headlines in the markets today. What I would say is, for the market overall, today's headlines are rarely tomorrow's history. So we will get through this time. It's certainly a very difficult time for the consumer. For us specifically, I can't comment on rumors or speculation about us, but we are 100% focused on executing our business, growing our business during these challenging times, and expanding into other exciting categories and areas to attract this next generation of consumer to our platform.
StockX also sells collectibles like trading cards, figurines. Talk to us about your plans for non-shoe alternative assets and the kind of demand you see from Gen Z and millennials, especially in the midst of a downturn.
Well, in 2016, we started with this idea of creating a real-time marketplace for high-demand consumer goods. We started with sneakers. Our second category actually was in watches and then handbags. And then we got into apparel, and that's expanded now into collectibles. It's all part of a big trend that I think includes digital assets, includes some of these physical assets, where the next generation of consumer, Gen Z, Gen A, actually looking at different things besides oil and commodities and even the market itself as a place to invest their time, their energy, their passions. And now you have opportunities to actually turn that passion into an economic opportunity. And so it's a big trend across all the things that trade into our platform, that these are considered assets by this set of consumers.